And when you hear people saying, well, Ethiopia, I remember from 1984, I remember from Live Aid when Bob Geldof put together that fantastic show to save Ethiopians from famine. That was from the 1980s. The Ethiopia of today is dramatically different than it was in the 1980s. Over the next 12, 13 years, Ethiopia will be the third biggest economy in Africa. It's a very exciting place to come and invest. Ethiopia is the largest exporter of coffee in Africa. It's the largest producer of wheat in Africa. We intend to be a middle-income country by 2025. It's an early-stage emerging economy, but the improvements have been dramatic. I mean, there's no other way of describing it as measured by the numbers. Ethiopia spends more of its annual budget on infrastructure than any other country in Africa. The road network went from nothing, say 20 years ago, to about 136,000 kilometers by 2015, 2016. It's a dramatic change. Now it's building 5,000 kilometers of railways to connect the entire country, and most importantly, to connect Addis to the port of Djibouti, the main outlet for Ethiopia today.
JCB has been operating in Ethiopia for a good many years. We at JCB see Ethiopia as a fantastic future of growth and development, especially in those sort of areas where they need our type of equipment. It's very, very satisfying to work here and be basically a pioneer. It's a fantastic market, and we have a range of fantastic products that will ensure that JCB will be here today and tomorrow. For anybody potentially coming into Ethiopia, as we've discovered inside JCB, this is a long-term operation. You're not here for a quick turnaround. This is a developing country. Don't expect your BlackBerry to work, because it's not going to. You know, try and send an email, it might get there tomorrow. We've learned and we understand the operational problems. Foreign exchange is one of those problems. It's very, very difficult for the companies to get the foreign exchange to purchase the letter of credit to pay for your product. So you might have orders sitting in your order bank, but you can't actually process those orders until you've got the letter of credit safely in the United Kingdom. It's not a negative, it's just a factor of the operation. You've got to be flexible, you've got to keep at it, you've got to keep going. And make sure that you understand you might have to change your payment terms. You might slightly have to change your product to suit the market. If you can accept that, then you can function in Africa.
FDI is at the top of the agenda for the government.
With the right business environment, we believe that we can achieve the goal that we have set for this country, and that we can grow together.
Ethiopia has improved its FDI law, has made it streamlined, the registration process, the investment process. So at the moment they have a one-stop shop for foreign investors. Ethiopia's demographic advantage of a very large population, coupled with the median age of 20. That's the very key part of it as well, is a very young population, educatable, deployable, affordable.
glove factory here has gone from 0 employees to 600 in 2 years. And it's likely to be maybe 5,000 or 6,000 within 5 years. Every country we deal with around the world has some challenges. But here it's relatively stable, the corruption is at a very low level, it's a good place to be. One of the challenges we faced is the training of employees. You assume that there is a core skill in the country, but then when you come you find that there aren't hundreds of people who know how to stitch particularly. So actually we had to go back one level in terms of the basic training. However, once we've established that level of skill, then the movement through into quality production has been quite stunning. In fact, our customers compliment us that our quality is actually better than the Chinese competition. Productivity is certainly a challenge. Within the culture, how many do you make an hour, how many do you make a day, what's efficiency? All those sort of aspects which are inherent in an industrialized economy are not here. So we have to learn them as we go. But in 2 years we've come a fantastic way forward in that respect. And I'm very, very confident over the next 2 years we'll be up there alongside China in terms of productivity levels.
Over the next 15 to 20 years, Ethiopia will be one of the most urbanized countries in Africa. When you have a young population, a very large population, you combine that with urbanization, with all the benefits that urbanization brings, then you can see the transformational effect, especially if you are a consumer products company that sells large volumes of soaps or detergents and clothing. And that's why it's starting to attract the attention of global investors.
So many things attracted Diageo. Population of young people, the growing middle class, the whole stable socio-economic and political environment, the ambition of the government. If you put all those together, it's very clear that this is the right place to be. This is the right place to invest. The consumers have been very receptive of our ideas, of our initiatives, and of our brands. So we found those really exciting. Because it's an emerging market, we have issues. For example, accessibility of talent. We see that is in short supply. So what we've done is to continuously look out for the best talents out there and to focus on growing their capability, coaching, mentoring, and helping to improve their ways of working. There are challenges in terms of bringing imported materials into this country. That whole clearance process and transportation of your goods and materials can be a bit complicated. So you need to be patient and you need to keep working at it. And I can assure you that government will be out there to support you all through.
My message is come early with a realistic business plan and focus on the sectors where you think Ethiopia will do well, and I think your return on investment will be higher than probably investing any other place in Africa.
Come out here and see the opportunity that this market presents. Interact with the people, interact with businesses that are already existing, have a bit of a tour around the country and fully understand what this country is about. And then be able to make your judgment after that.
You need to do your homework, you need to do your research, you need to understand the rules and the regulations. There's no such thing as a free lunch. You have to work hard for the opportunities that exist here. But I think the best advice I would give is talk to people who've done it. Don't be shy to come and ask. We want everybody to come here and be successful.
Come to Ethiopia with a glass half full perspective, not a glass half empty. Okay? If you come with a glass half full perspective, that means you're starting with the opportunity. You don't start with the risk. If you come here and say, well, power shortage do exist. The broadband is not as fast as it is in the UK. I'll wait until those are perfect. Then you know what happened? The Chinese would have taken everything.